Hi, my name is Sarahleah, and I am so excited to be here with you today to learn about the 5-minute meditation. I love teaching meditation. I've been meditating myself for almost 40 years, and it has changed my life. So anyway, 5-minute meditation. I learned this meditation from a guy named Charles Roth, probably 39 years ago. Yeah, 39 years ago. Almost 40 years ago. So anyway, he said, and at the time, I was really not in a good place. And he said that if I meditated for 5 minutes a day for 90 days, never missing a day. So if I meditated for 5 minutes on Monday and I missed Tuesday, on Wednesday, I would have to do 15 minutes. No, that's not right. If I meditated on Monday, and I missed Tuesday, yes, okay. So I would have to do 10 minutes. Yes, I'm still not all there, actually. And I love being perfectly imperfect. So I enjoy myself, and I enjoy my mistakes, which I'm sure I'll make several of during this video because I don't want to edit it, so I'm just going to do it straight through. Anyway, so 5 minutes a day, every day, not missing a day, for 90 days. And at that time, as I said before, I was not in a really good place, and I actually marked the calendar 90 days, 89 days, all the way up to 1. And I just remember getting to the day where it said, end of meditation, and thinking, that is not going to happen. I mean, whatever had happened in those 90 days, which I don't remember, had changed so much for me that I was absolutely not going to stop meditating. You know, it's a wonderful thing to meditate. And the way he said it was the time, the 5 minutes that I gave to the universe was all that had to happen, just the 5 minutes. So I learned to teach people to use a timer, because a timer is, the beeper goes off and the time is up. This meditation is particularly good for left brain people who've been trying to meditate forever and can't do it because they can't quiet their brains, and perfectionists. So, perfectionist starts to meditate, and they get some kind of spiritual thought in their head, and then comes the laundry list. Oh my God, I got an appointment at 10, I got an appointment at 9, oh, what am I going to do, blah, blah, blah. And the meditation, the timer goes off. And then they think, oh, well, that wasn't good enough, so I have to do it again. Well, see, with this meditation, you don't have to do it again because you already gave your 5 minutes to the universe. So there's no judgment about the meditation either, because you did it, you showed up. It's nice to be able to do it at the same time in the same place, but not necessary. Actually, when I started meditating, many times I had 5 children and a husband, and I had to meditate in the bathroom because that was the only place I could lock. The least spiritual place in the house to meditate, and the worst idea for money. But I didn't think about money in the meditation. I just did it. I attempted to think something spiritual. And it changed our lives. Within 3 years, in 1982, we moved our entire family to Florida. My husband changed his profession. And we had had many good years over the first part of our marriage. But there were some bad years. And this was right after the bad years. The bad years kind of went away with meditation. And it was just so wonderful. And you know, I used to meditate. When I started to meditate, I was an atheist, so I meditated on Emerson. Emerson was really big for me. And Emerson had this phrase, and actually on the left-hand side of the page at the bottom, in my edition, whatever that was, I still have the same book, thank God. But anyway, it was a paperback. And he said there, we live with the privilege of immeasurable mind. Immeasurable mind. What does that mean? Immeasurable mind. Actually, I could sit here and meditate on that again. I don't know that I ever answered my own question about what is immeasurable mind. I don't know if I still understand it or not, or understand it at all. Maybe a tiny bit after all these years. Anyway, that's what I used to meditate on. And the other one was Thoreau. And I used to meditate on this one phrase. He said that he grew in those days like corn in the night. And why that tickled me so, I don't know. But I meditated on that for a long, long time. And it was so interesting. And you know, Thoreau, he moved to this little cabin. I think it was on Emerson's property, actually. He moved to this little cabin on Walden Pond. And there was nothing there. He caught his own food. You know, he lived very simply. I think he was a vegetarian, so he probably grew his own food. And anyway, he's such a great guy, and he was so inspirational to me. And every time I think of that phrase, it makes me smile. So we moved all the kids to Florida and ourselves. And as I said, my husband changed his profession. And we'd moved to Lakeland, Florida. And we got there. It was so interesting because I said to my husband, I feel like I've grown out of the soil like a stalk of corn. And that was really Thoreau. But that's how I felt in Florida. I felt like I had grown out of the soil. And so life went on, and it just got better and better and better and better and better over all these years. And now all my 5 kids are grown up. They're all really happy in what they do. We are happy in what we do. I love teaching meditation. It's my favorite thing that I do. And I love being an artist. So I'm doing both things that I really love. And I am just so happy. And every one of my kids is in a creative, well, actually one is not creative, but he's very successful in his field. But they have created stuff out of nothing through meditation and through focus. And they're all very successful. So it's just amazing. You know, this is catching. If one person meditates in a family, it changes the whole family. It's like it's catching. So, I'll give you a couple ideas about meditation. This is a generic meditation, but I want to say that next week we're going to be meditating with the letter Aleph, which is the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet. And so I need you to bring a pencil and paper at least, maybe watercolors, or if you have some acrylics around you haven't played with in a long time. That's what you need for next week, because we're going to be drawing and painting, and I'll show you my paintings of the Aleph. It'll be fun. So anyway, I love everything I do. Everything is fun to me. So here's some suggestions. So if you're Jewish, this is on a Jewish channel, but anyway, if you're Jewish, some suggestions I have. One is the Shema. You can repeat it over and over again, or and you can do the Vahavta, which is after the Shema, the first paragraph after the Shema. Well, first 3, but anyway, I only do the first one. Ashrei is another one, if you know the psalm. And Kaddish, this part of Kaddish. And it goes to a beat. Yikadal, v'yikadash, V'yipar, V'yitmam, V'yitnaseh, V'yithadar, V'yithaleh, V'yithalal, Shmei Kudashah. But the first 8 words, they are all to a beat. And also 4 is a really, really important number in Kabbalah. And like if you have a stool with 3 legs, that's not always the most secure. But if you have a stool with 4 legs, that's very secure. So 4 is a big number in Kabbalah, and the Kaddish part is 8, so it's 2 times 4. So that makes it very important also. And if you're Christian, you can start with the Our Father. It's great. Now I'm going to give you a couple of prayers that I use, and it's good for everybody, is a serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That's one version. Here's another version. God, grant me the serenity to accept the people I cannot change. Grant me the serenity to accept the people I cannot change, the courage to change the one I can, and the wisdom to know that one is me. I do them better with my eyes closed. And see, I'm again perfectly imperfect because I didn't get it right away. Anyway, so now we're going to do a short meditation. And the most important thing about guided meditation, and I'm going to be guiding this meditation, is don't follow if it makes you uncomfortable. That is the most important part of a guided meditation. So I'm going to talk about a garden, and when I do this for groups, I always give them time to have feedback and tell me where they went. And one person went to the moon. Only one person, after all that I taught on a unit in a hospital for a time, and only one person in all the years I taught there ever went to the moon, so she was unusual. But one person said she loved to stand and watch the wheat flow back and forth. And of course, many people went to the mountains, and many people went to the water, some lakes, some oceans, whatever. But we're going to talk about a garden, but the thing is, you need to go wherever you need to go. So anyway, I'd like you to picture yourself in a garden. And if it's an English garden, you can, which is so perfect. Mine is not an English garden, but it does have a hedge in it. And I love to run my hands over the hedges after they've just been cut, or even afterwards when they just have a little bit of growth. It just feels so nice on my hand. And in my garden, I love fragrance, and I have a really bad sense of smell, so I need strong fragrances. So in my garden right now, there is a huge gardenia plant. And the smell is just amazing. And here in Florida, we have another bush. It's called orange blossom or something. Anyway, it has little white flowers, and they smell also just unbelievably. So you wander through this garden that is so full of life. Life is just forcing itself through all these plants and fish that are in the pond. And there's a bridge you can go over if you wish and look down at the fish in the pond. And these are not planted fish. I mean, they're not big goldfish. They're just fish that are natural to this pond. And haven't been fished out. And you keep wandering, and there are trees, but mostly flowers, mostly these wonderful, wonderful colors. And you get to a point where there's a bench, and there is a person sitting on the bench. And this can be a person in your present life.